Good evening, hockey fanatics, and welcome back to the channel where we dissect the triumphs, the heartbreaks, and the audacious, often desperate, gambles that define the pursuit of hockey's ultimate prize. Tonight, we're staring into the very soul of a franchise, a team with generational talent, a fan base yearning for glory, and a question that hangs heavy in the frigid Edmonton air. In a season that feels like a relentless, uphill battle, with the Stanley Cup window for two of the game's brightest stars potentially narrowing, how much courage does it take for a team to truly push all of its chips into the center of the table? Not for one star, but for a blockbuster, franchise-altering pair? It's a question born from the raw urgency of the Edmonton Oilers' current predicament, a team that, despite possessing the unparalleled brilliance of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, has yet to translate that individual genius into consistent team success, and more importantly, a Stanley Cup. The pressure in Edmonton isn't just mounting, it's reaching a fever pitch, a palpable sense of desperation that demands bold action. And into this cauldron of expectation and anxiety, a truly audacious proposal has emerged from the depths of the rumor mill, a vision so grand, so transformative. It could either cement the Oilers' dynasty or send them spiraling into an even deeper abyss. The whispers began, as they often do, with a single name, Juuse Saros. The Nashville Predators' elite goaltender has long been linked to the Oilers, a seemingly perfect solution to their perennial struggles between the pipes. But what if the ambition didn't stop there? What if, instead of merely plucking one star from a floundering franchise, the Oilers dared to dream bigger, to orchestrate a blockbuster deal that would bring two of Nashville's brightest talents to the frozen north? This isn't just about making a trade. It's about making a statement, a declaration that the time for half measures is over and the era of going all in has arrived. This isn't mere fantasy, it's a strategic proposition, one that gains significant traction when you consider the rapidly unfolding situation in Nashville. The Predators, a team that has long prided itself on its competitive spirit and consistent playoff appearances, appear to be teetering on the brink of a significant organizational overhaul. Their recent performance, particularly a disastrous two-game trip to Sweden, has served as a stark, undeniable signal that changes are not just coming, but are sooner rather than later. The stage is being set for a potential fire sale, and the Edmonton Oilers, with their urgent need for immediate impact, are being urged to be the primary beneficiaries. The Predators' plight, a franchise at a crossroads. To understand the audacious proposal for the Oilers, we must first grasp the dire circumstances unfolding in Nashville. The Predators, a team that has often defied expectations, are now facing a harsh reality check. The extra emphasis placed on their performance during the two-game trip to Sweden was meant to be a turning point, a chance to re-establish their identity and prove their mettle. Instead, it became a glaring indictment of their current state. Aside from a last-minute goal that salvaged an overtime win in Game 1, Nashville was shut out for the other 119 minutes of action against a Pittsburgh team that is not known for its defensive prowess. This isn't just a bad weekend, it's a systemic failure, a complete lack of offensive production, and a defensive vulnerability that screams for immediate intervention. The results from Sweden were so unequivocally poor that the sentiment within the league is clear: we could be nearing the end of the road for this group. This isn't just a slump, it's a crisis, and it's forcing the Predators' hand. When a team reaches this point, the trade rumors begin to swirl like a blizzard. And in Nashville, just about every Predator has been mentioned in trade rumors in recent weeks and months, outside of Captain Roman Josi. This is a critical detail. It signifies that the organization is prepared to consider moving almost anyone, signaling a potential full-scale rebuild, or at the very least, a significant retooling. And among those mentioned are two of their most valuable assets, two players who could instantly transform a contender: star winger Filip Forsberg and elite goaltender Juuse Saros. The Predators' struggles, therefore, create an unprecedented opportunity for a team like the Oilers, a chance to capitalize on another franchise's misfortune to fuel their own championship aspirations. The Oilers' imperative, a Stanley Cup or bust mentality now. Let's turn our attention to the Edmonton Oilers, a team whose narrative is dominated by two words: Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. These are not just superstars, they are generational talents, players who redefine what's possible on the ice. Yet, despite their individual brilliance, the ultimate team success, a Stanley Cup, has remained elusive. The window for these two legends is open now, but in the unforgiving world of professional sports, even the widest windows eventually begin to close. This creates an urgency to win in Edmonton that is almost unparalleled in the league. The Oilers can't sit back anymore. The time for incremental improvements, for hoping things will simply click, is over. It's time to push all of the chips in to win a Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. This isn't just a desire, it's a mandate. The organization, the fan base, and indeed the players themselves understand that anything less than a legitimate push for the cup is a failure. They need to surround their two titans with the complementary pieces that can elevate them from perennial contenders to undisputed champions. And that, according to some of the sharpest minds in hockey analysis, means looking beyond a single acquisition and aiming for a truly transformative deal. The blockbuster vision. Yaremchuk's audacious proposal. Enter analyst Tyler Yaremchuk, who has dared to articulate the ultimate dream scenario for the Oilers. Yaremchuk believes that instead of making a desperate, in-season move that might compromise future assets, the Oilers should exercise patience, keep their powder dry this year, and then on July 1st, Forsberg Combo Deal, boom. How in business are we? This isn't just a trade. It's a strategic masterpiece, a calculated gamble designed to maximize impact. By waiting until the summer, the Oilers could potentially avoid the inflated prices of the trade deadline and allow the Predators situation to fully unravel, potentially driving down the asking price for their stars. More importantly, it allows them to target both players in a single comprehensive package, addressing two of their most pressing needs simultaneously: elite goaltending and top-tier offensive firepower. Let's break down the two stars Yaremchuk envisions joining the Oilers. Juuse Saros. The game-changing goaltender at 30 years old, Juuse Saros is one of the premier goaltenders in the NHL. He just began the first season of an 8-year, $61.92 million extension he inked with Nashville in 2024. This long-term, team-friendly contract makes him an incredibly valuable asset, providing stability and elite performance for years to come. For the Oilers, whose goaltending has been a persistent Achilles heel, Saros would be nothing short of a revelation. He brings consistency, athleticism, and the ability to steal games, a quality that is absolutely essential for a Stanley Cup contender. Imagine McDavid and Draisaitl knowing they have a brick wall behind them, allowing them to play with even more offensive freedom. Saros isn't just an upgrade. He's a foundational piece, the kind of player who can single-handedly elevate a team's championship aspirations. Filip Forsberg. The elite offensive weapon Filip Forsberg, at 31 years old, is a dynamic, high-scoring winger who is currently in year 4 of the 8-year, $68 million extension he signed with the Predators in 2022. Like Saros, he is locked into a long-term deal, providing cost certainty and sustained elite production. Forsberg brings a lethal combination of skill, speed, and a nose for the net. He's a consistent 30 to 40 goal scorer, a player who can create offense out of nothing and provide the secondary scoring punch that the Oilers desperately need to complement McDavid and Draisaitl. His presence on the wing would make the Oilers' top 6 forward group virtually unstoppable, creating matchup nightmares for opposing defenses and adding another layer of offensive dynamism that could push them over the top. The idea of acquiring both players is not just about adding talent, it's about creating a complete, balanced team. Saros solves the goaltending crisis, providing the stability and elite performance that has been missing. Forsberg adds another dimension to their already potent offense, ensuring they have multiple scoring threats beyond their two superstars. It's a 1-2 punch that could fundamentally alter the landscape of the Western Conference. The cost and complexity. A high-stakes gamble. While the vision of a Forsberg-Saros package deal is tantalizing, the reality of pulling off such a blockbuster is fraught with complexity and significant challenges. Acquiring any of the aforementioned players, let alone two, will be tough to pull off. The primary hurdles are twofold: big contracts. Both Forsberg and Saros are on substantial long-term deals. Taking on such significant cap hits requires careful financial maneuvering and potentially shedding existing salary. Strong return package. The Predators, even in a rebuild, will demand a king's ransom for two of their most valuable assets. The Oilers would need to assemble a strong enough return package of prospects, draft picks, and potentially other roster players to entice Nashville. This is why Chuck suggests patience until the summer. It allows more time to strategize, to evaluate assets, and to potentially leverage the Predators' increasing desperation. Making such a deal in season would be incredibly difficult, if not impossible, due to cap constraints and the immediate impact on the Oilers roster. Waiting until the summer provides flexibility, allowing Stan Bowman, the hypothetical GM, to kick tires on various options and construct the most compelling offer. However, even with patience and strategic planning, the odds remain daunting. Even 8 months from now, the odds of landing one of them will be slim. The report acknowledges, acquiring two would be a monumental feat, a testament to exceptional negotiation and a willingness to pay a premium. But for the Oilers, with their Stanley Cup window and the prime years of McDavid and Draisaitl on the line, these slim odds are worth pursuing with every fiber of their being. The time for caution is over. The time for a full throttle, all-in push has arrived. Beyond the blockbuster, other intriguing options while the Forsberg-Saros package is the ultimate dream, the Oilers sniffing around the Predators situation all season long and into the summer should extend to other veteran stars who could become available. A rebuild in Nashville would likely see other valuable pieces hit the market, and the Oilers need to be prepared to pivot if the primary targets prove unattainable. Along with Forsberg and Saros, players like Ryan O'Reilly, a proven two-way center and Stanley Cup champion, could provide invaluable leadership and defensive prowess. Steven Stamkos, if he were to become available from Tampa Bay, would bring elite scoring and a veteran presence. Jonathan Marchessault from Vegas offers clutch scoring and playoff experience, while Michael Bunting could provide grit and secondary offense. These are all intriguing options for Stan Bowman to kick tires on, reinforcing the idea that the Oilers are committed to acquiring any veteran star who can help them win now. The goal is clear: maximize the McDavid-Draisaitl era by any means necessary. The ultimate gamble. Defining the Oilers' legacy, the Edmonton Oilers stand at a pivotal moment in their franchise history. With two of the most electrifying players in the game, the expectation for a Stanley Cup is not just high, it's an absolute imperative. The struggles of the Nashville Predators have opened a tantalizing, albeit narrow, window of opportunity, a chance to acquire not one, but two game-changing stars. The proposed Forsberg-Saros package deal is the ultimate gamble, a high-stakes play that could either propel the Oilers to long-awaited glory or leave them with a depleted prospect pool and an even deeper sense of regret. It demands patience, strategic brilliance, and a willingness to pay a hefty price. But for a team that can't sit back anymore, for a franchise that needs to push all of the chips in, this audacious vision might just be the only path to fulfilling the promise of the McDavid-Draisaitl era. The future of the Edmonton Oilers and the legacy of their two superstars could very well hinge on whether they dare to dream this big, and then, more importantly, whether they can make that dream a reality. So, what do you think? Is Tyler Yaremchuk's vision of a Forsberg-Saros combo deal the bold move the Edmonton Oilers absolutely must make to win a Stanley Cup? Or are the odds too slim, the cost too high, and the risk too great? Which of these Predators stars, if any, would you prioritize for the Oilers? Drop your insights, your predictions, and your passionate opinions in the comments below. We want to hear from every single one of you. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the high-stakes world of NHL blockbusters and championship aspirations, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive analysis and the most engaging hockey conversations anywhere. Your support fuels our passion, and we love building this incredible community with you.